Welcome back, guys. It is weekend, but I had to make a video. I had a longer conversation, well, not longer, but a fair amount of conversation last night with a member of the old school Cerwin-Vega group. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit itchy today and squishy because my allergies are really blooming. It's spring and I'm being pummeled by everything. I took an allergy test a few years ago, and apparently I was allergic to 26 different things, and ragweed and grass and all kinds of shit. It's just blooming like crazy right now. So I'm struggling, so just bear with me. But I had a longer conversation. I wouldn't say, I will categorize it as a longer, on Facebook Messenger, and with a member of the old school Cerwin-Vega group. His name is Kai Arnold. I hope I say that name, the last name, correctly. Um, and we talked about the importance of legacy and paying respect and homage to the history of the company. Um, and that's been my goal all along. I did not create the old school Cerwin-Vega group, um, or this YouTube channel or any other group or channel on social media about Cerwin-Vega for any other reason than just that. It was all about the legacy. It's all about the history. To me, that's to me. I know people are consumed and very like focused on products and speakers and amplifiers and all that stuff. I am too. I love Cerwin-Vega products, so I am well into the products. I love to have as many as I can, but it's not my main goal to collect as a private person, to collect as many pair of speakers as possible. I rather have 5 or 6 rare different models than have like 200 different types of speakers. But with this museum thing coming up, of course, getting my hands on more and more models would be Alpha and Omega. But for me, it's always been from the very beginning the history. Of course, back in the 80s when I got involved with Cerwin-Vega, it was the speakers, it was the sound, and so on and so on. And of course, this just had a snowball effect. And into the 90s, it was like I wanted to have at least tested and owned as many possible different models as possible. And I was lucky. I probably have had 60, 70, 80, 90, maybe 100 different models for a period of time, for a short period, long period, intermediate period of time. I've been buying and selling them, and I've been very lucky. It's probably close to 100 or if not more different models that I've had. And on top of that, I've been very lucky and fortunate to know people who have other models that I haven't had, which I've been able to spend time with and sit down and listen to. So I've been very lucky in that way. So to me, it's not very important. Well, it's kind of important, but it's not very important. It doesn't break my hobby one way or another if I don't own 40 different pairs of speakers or 20 different amps or whatever. But I want to have the historical pieces. I'm right now. I'm focusing in my search. I'm focusing my collection on the rare pieces, like getting my hands on the microphones, getting my hands on the CB radios, maybe finding a head unit that I showed you in the catalog the other day. And oh my god, in the holy grail of car audio would be to find the first amplifier that Cerwin-Vega made that they released in the 70s that I also have showed you guys before. So I'm like, right now, I can go out and there's plenty of speakers around me for sale on Facebook Marketplace right now that I can go and pick up tomorrow for 100, 200 bucks. AT and D and RE and all LS and all these series, E series. I can go and find that tomorrow if I want. I can bring home 10 pairs tomorrow. But right now I'm focusing on finding those rare pieces, those rare models that you don't see every day, because those are the ones that with time will even be more difficult to find. So if we're going to be able to document the past into the future, those are the models that I have to find. Um, so and so that's where I spend a lot of time looking for gear. Now, I told Kai because we had a little talk, and like I told him, to me, it is more important to focus on the legacy and the history of the company, so we can preserve that for future generations, for those who might want to know more about Cerwin-Vega, because there's a new fan born every day. And, new fans comes in because of the new products. Some of those, if they have the same mind mentality as some of us do, they will look back and say, hey, what was the history back in time? And they will see that there was a crossroad in 2002, 2003, and they will see, okay, so I am part of the newer, the path, but there was a path before that that was totally different. So maybe we can, for us who are alive today and live today, and if we can keep this social media exposure up, and we bring new and younger members into the group, and of course, some of us showcase what the history once was, then that will bring the snowball effect into the future. And like I told him, like I told Kai, that I'm considering myself maybe like a storyteller in a way, where I'm kind of like telling by having this channel here on YouTube and having created the old school Cerwin-Vega group plus a few other Cerwin-Vega groups on eBay. I consider myself like a storyteller, maybe more like a historian of the company than a collector right now, because I feel that that's important. So if I can create something here on YouTube on this very channel that you're watching now, that's my storyteller group. Friday night. Well, welcome to Friday Night Storytelling Group. But it's more or less maybe every day now, because there's so many, and there's videos on the old channel that is it's not dead. It will come more stuff there too, but I'm trying to look into maybe integrate more. So it's like I'm trying to get the message out that there's more than playing loud and testing products. This channel is more about looking into the history and preserving a lot of the historical facts, the historical happenings that happened. For instance, like, okay, in this time period, Cerwin-Vega was struggling, or in this time period, they grew really, this is the reason they grew fast and a lot, and these are the models that really put them on the market, and this is what captured that segment and stuff like that. That will be a huge part of this channel. And then sometimes that can be difficult to communicate to people, because people are expecting to see something new every day. But sometimes you have to kind of like take two steps back to take one step forward. I am not very interested. I mean, like I said before, the new Cerwin-Vega, they have a few products they have some products on the car audio side that I think is very good. And I enjoy them because I have some of them myself. It's just I don't feel that this company is the right one to capture me, because one, they have already three times lied about the history of the company. So why would I trust them to be a spokesperson going forward when they can't get the history straight? So then I feel that someone has to do it. And I feel like I haven't chosen to do it. That's the feeling I have. And I don't care if other people see it that way or not, as long as if I can, I don't need to convince thousands of people that the history was in a certain way. If I can lay out the history that most of us have seen it in the way I've seen it, in the way I've been part of it, if I can lay out the history, I'll pave a road back in time for people to go and see, oh, this is what happened. Oh, these are the models that were made. In this decade, we have these models. And, in the 50s, we had this. And Cerwin-Vega was the first company to make a solid state amplifier. If I can make a paved road back to that, if only one person go down that road, I have succeeded. That's how I see it. If I can make one person take a trip back in time and look at the legacy, the history of Cerwin-Vega, the legend of Gene Cervinsky, then that's all. Then I feel my job is done. I only need to convince one person or send one person down the rabbit hole of Cerwin-Vega and the history and the legacy and the legend. If I can do that, I feel like I have succeeded. I don't need to, for my personal uh, state of mind, say, oh, I need to at least attract 1,000 or 2,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 people to go back in time and look at Cerwin-Vega and go like, ooh, yes, I want to be a part of this. All it takes is that one person. And the feedback I've gotten so far, I know I've gotten at least 5 or 6 people that has gone down. I mean, a lot of people have projected their gratitude for what I have done, and I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful for all the positive feedback and response that I get. But there's like a handful of 5 or 6 or 7 people that I know, that I have seen, that I haven't met him in the person, but I met him online. We talked online, so I kind of feel like I know them to a certain degree. I see where they started. When I met them, I see where they started on their Cerwin-Vega path, and I see that maybe they have been, you know, guided along. That's how I feel it. So I feel like I have had success with that. Um, I could not care less what people think about the content that I make, or what what products we talk about, because there's plenty of people out there who disagree with us Cerwin-Vega fans, who like to put us Cerwin-Vega fans into a box, and they're doing it a very disservice by doing that, and not to us but to themselves, because they don't know better. So I don't really care what people think. I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless. So if people don't like that we have a Cerwin-Vega channel and they don't want to be a part of it, well, so be it. Then they're not a real fan. A real fan would say, this is cool, but it's not for me. I choose to collect my speakers. Fine. Well and dandy. That's your contribution to the Cerwin-Vega family. If that's where you want to focus, that's fine. We are okay with that. Like I said, we only need a few people from each generation to get hooked on the history, the legacy, and the legend of Gene, and they will carry the torch forward. There's always that person or that movement starting to go forward based on what happened in the past. So that's the essence of this YouTube channel that you are in now, that you're watching now. That's the pure, stripped down reason why this channel was created. And then on top of that, there will be, of course, we will be showcasing products. We will be doing tests. We will be doing playthroughs. We will be doing all kinds of stuff future down the road. But this is a long road we're going down. I see myself doing this for at least another 25 years. So, because that's probably where I'm, that's what I think I have left on this planet, 25, 30 years. So I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, but we're going to have other things too. But I just want to let you guys know that the reason behind this YouTube channel, the Cerwin-Vega Museum channel, not related to any of the other channels that are been like product testing and giving like my thoughts about some top products and how they sound and stuff like that. That's for that channel. This channel is pure Cerwin-Vega. Of course, we're going to be talking about other brands of amps and CD players that we can use with them, and what is a good mix and all that stuff, what fits together, what makes Cerwin-Vega sound better. So we will be talking about other products too. Don't get me wrong. So that's now you have it. This is the where we go channel for the legacy, the history, and the legend of the creator of Cerwin-Vega, and that's that was my intention all along. That's all. That's all what this was. So I hope that this is something that you guys um, is a forum. Let's call it a forum or a place where you can go and that you want to find out a few things about the past. Uh, the great thing about Cerwin-Vega and their fans is that 99.9% of the fans knows quite a bit. Okay, and then you have 75% who knows a certain good amount, which would be like average, and then you have 50% of the fans who knows a lot, you know. And then you have another, out of that you have, of those 50%, you have another 25% who have extensive knowledge about the company, about the products, and then you have a core of 10% who feel they know more than the others, and maybe rightfully so, but they're still seeking that extra amount of knowledge and information. And I hope this is the channel that will give you that. So until next time, take care, guys.